Rayan hated how quiet the new village was. His parents were dead. After the accident, he had been sent to live with Uncle Fahim, a bitter man who spoke little and smiled even less. Their old wooden house creaked with each step, but what truly unnerved Rayan was the lake behind it. It was black, glassy, and utterly still, as if it were holding its breath. The villagers called it Namakizahar, the lake of poisoned salt. Never go near it after sunset, Uncle Fahim warned. The first night, and if you hear her sing, close your window and pray. Rayan didn't ask who she was the first time he saw her. It was twilight. He was sitting by the lake, sketching, when he noticed her reflection in the water. Before he saw her in real life. Lira. Long black hair, soaked as if she'd just come from the depths. Her skin glowed faintly, as though lit from within. Her voice soft, singing a lullaby in a language he didn't know, yet somehow understood. She looked up and smiled. You're new. He should have run. Instead, he smiled back each day. Rayan returned. And each day Alira would be there, waiting by the lake. She never crossed the Waterline. She never blinked when the sun went down. They talked for hours about stars, death, forgotten poems. He fell in love with her voice first, then her eyes, then her sadness. One evening she touched his hand. Her skin was cold as stone. Would you still love me if you knew what I was? She asked. I already do, he whispered. She smiled, almost sadly. Then remember this, if I call your name at night, don't answer. No matter how much I cry. He didn't understand. But that night, long after he fell asleep, a voice came through his window, soaked in sorrow and seduction. Reyan. Please. I'm so cold. Don't leave me again. His heart ached, but he stayed still. The next morning, there were wet footprints on his floor, leading to his bed. Rayan couldn't sleep anymore each night. She came. Alira's voice slipped through the walls like fog, sometimes weeping, sometimes singing, always calling his name. And each morning, the footprints appeared again, some dry, some still wet. Uncle Fahim noticed the dark circles under Rayan's eyes. You've been going near the lake, haven't you? Rayan stayed silent. Fahim slammed his glass down. That girl, she's not real. She died years ago. Rayan's blood ran cold. She was going to be married. She drowned herself before the wedding. No one knows why. Some say her lover betrayed her. Some say he died, but the lake had kept her. Rayan whispered. Her name is Alira. Uncle Fahim froze. Then he whispered. Then it's already too late. Rayan returned to the lake that evening, anger burning in his chest. Alira was waiting. She sat on the edge of the water, dipping her fingers into the black ripples. Why didn't you tell me? He asked. She didn't turn around. You knew I loved you. You let me fall deeper. You lied. No, she said softly. I protected you. Rayan knelt beside her. Tell me what happened. Alira finally looked at him, eyes heavy with old pain. I was in love with someone who promised he'd come back for me, but he never did. My family forced a marriage. I drowned myself on my wedding night, wearing the red dress meant for him. The lake, it doesn't let the broken-hearted go. Tears rolled down Rayan's face. You think I'd leave you? Alira leaned in, touching her cold forehead to his. Love isn't enough here. You have to promise, Rayan whispered. I swear I'll never leave you. She pulled a black thread from her hair, long, silky, knotted like fate, and tied it around his finger. Then you're mine. That night, his dreams turned red. He saw her wedding dress soaked, clinging to her bones. He saw her drifting beneath the lake surface, mouth open, screaming silently as weeds wrapped around her. He woke, choking, lungs full of water. The bed was wet. Saira. A local girl who sometimes brought bread from her father's bakery warned him the next day. You look like you've seen death, she said. I've seen love, Rayan replied. She grew quiet. Was it her, the girl in the lake? He looked up sharply. Saira leaned in. She drowned in 1963. But every boy who falls for her ends up vanishing one by one. Every generation. They say she's building something down there. Rayan's breath caught. What? Sarah's eyes darted around. A wedding party that night. Rayan walked to the lake on purpose. Alira was waiting waist deep in the water, wearing a red dress that bled into the waves. Her eyes shimmered. You came back. He stepped forward. I want to see it, he whispered. What's beneath? She extended her hand. Then come, I'll show you. He took it. The moment their fingers touched, the water rose unnaturally fast, swallowing him, pulling him down, but there was no cold, only silence, only ... Her beneath the lake, there was a ballroom, rotting wood, floating candles, dozens of drowned bodies swaying gently, dressed in suits and wedding saris, faces half intact, half bone ... And at the center, a throne of coral and bone. Alira led him there. You're the last, she said. The last. She nodded. Now we can begin. All around, the drowned opened their mouths in a silent cheer. Alira kissed his lips. Her mouth tasted of iron and rain. But Rayan felt something then. A pull, like the lake wanted to keep him there forever. His lungs burned. His eyes stung. He broke the kiss, gasping. Alira, I'm not like you. I can't stay. Her face darkened. You promised. I didn't know I was promising to die. Alira's expression shattered into sorrow. You said you'd never leave me. Around them, the drowned began to stir, angry, awake, or wake. Ryan turned to swim upward, but Illyra grabbed his arm, her fingers clawing into his skin. "You're mine," she whispered, voice cracking like glass. "You lied." "No," Ryan gasped. "I loved you, but I'm still alive. I want to live." Illyra stared at him and then slowly, let go, then go. He swam. The ballroom faded into darkness, the voices of the drowned echoing as he broke the surface. He collapsed on the shore, coughing up lake water and blood. The black thread was gone from his finger, so was Illyra. Ryan didn't return to the lake for 7 days. He tried to forget. He told himself Illyra was never real, that the ballroom, the drowned, the kiss, all hallucinations from the grief he'd never shaken. But the black mark on his wrist said otherwise, shaped like a thread, burned into his skin where Illyra had held him last. He tried cutting it, came back by morning. On the 8th night he heard her voice again, not sad, not sweet, angry. "You swore. You danced with the dead and turned your back. They won't forgive you, and neither will I." That night, Rayon woke up choking, on lake water again, but his window had been nailed shut. From the inside, Sarah came to see him. "You look hollow," she said, her eyes full of fear, "like something's feeding on you." He told her everything about the ballroom, the red dress, the kiss, the vow. Sarah said nothing for a long while. Then she whispered, "There's only one way to break the bond, how you have to finish the wedding." Rayan recoiled. "You're saying I have to die?" "No," she said. "You have to go back, put on the ring, dance with her, walk her down the aisle, finish it, and then reject her." Rayan's chest tightened. "That will kill her," Sarah nodded. "She's already dead." That night, the lake was still. Rayan stood at the edge, dressed in a white shirt, holding a candle in one hand and a ring in the other. One he carved himself from iron and sorrow. The water rippled. She appeared. Lyra. This time. Her dress was complete. Long veil, heavy beads, her smile more desperate than ever. "You came back." "I did." She extended a hand. He took it. They sank. The ballroom had changed. Now it glowed. Hundreds of drowned guests lined the walls, watching, waiting, cheering silently. A skeletal priest hovered above the altar. A violin played. The sound twisted and slow, made of whale bones and weeping. Illyra led Rayan to the center. He placed the ring on her finger. He kissed her lips cold, heart colder, and then she turned to the crowd. "He is mine." The drowned began to weep. The priest raised a rusted dagger. The ceremony was moments from binding Rayan's soul forever. But then Rayan stepped back. "No." Illyra froze. "You had my heart," he said, "but not my death." He pulled the black thread from his wrist, burning now, and ripped it free. The ballroom screamed. Illyra shrieked, her face cracked like glass, blood-black tears flowing from her eyes. "You said you'd never leave me." "I'm not leaving you," Rayan said. "I'm freeing you." He threw the iron ring into the water. It sparked. The drowned began to scream. The priest vanished in a burst of black mist. Illyra collapsed to her knees, her wedding dress turning into smoke. Rayan ran, swam, rose. He burst from the lake, gasping. Behind him, the water churned, boiled, then stilled by morning. The lake was dry. Nothing remained but salt and bones, and at the center a single, red veil, gently swaying in the breeze. Years later, Rayan lived in a city far away. He wrote poems no one read, never married, never swam again, but each year, on the day he first saw her, a letter arrived. No name, no address, just a pressed red rose, soaked in salt. In the words, "Till death did us part." And after